Hey folks, welcome to Wake Up Charlotte to Go. We are live right now at Quail Hollow Club down in South Charlotte, where we are getting ready for all the action. Gates open in about 2.5 hours at 10 a.m. And then the action actually starts around 1:05 first tee. I'm joined by Brittany Van Voorhees here. And quite a day shaping up here. Very exciting. We've been here since about 3:45 this morning. And so we've been actually fortunate enough to watch over the last hour or so sunrise. And it's just, you could not pick a more beautiful setting here this morning.
I know, especially based on the fact that we have been so dry. And I feel like we've been talking about it a lot, Ben, but the weather really is going to be fabulous. I mean, today it's a bit humid, but it is what it is, right? Yeah. It's September in the Charlotte area, and then we know it's going to get drier this weekend.
Yeah. The President's Cup is a really interesting, unique tournament that is focused mainly on charity, which is the good news. But you have the USA team, you've got the international team. Nick Carboni actually also here with us this morning, and he's got more background information. Take a look.
The first President's Cup was in 1994 in Prince William County, Virginia. In front of honorary chairman, former President Gerald Ford, the United States won the inaugural event by a wide margin.
All he has to do now is get this up and down, and the match is over. So Justin's got a pretty good putt left.
This superb shot.
The international team's only victory in the event came in 1998 at Royal Melbourne in Australia.
It was great for the whole deal, a great feel for it. I think it was a good future for the President's Cup, but out of it all, though, the game of golf won more than anything else.
Then after a landslide U.S. victory in 2000, the only tie in President's Cup history happened in 2003 in South Africa. Fast forward to 2015. That year's event held in South Korea was the closest contest, with the United States clinching the cup on the final hole for a 15.5 to 14.5 point victory.
Will it come down to those final 3 games? They're all tight.
The last President's Cup was perhaps the most dramatic. 2019, back in Melbourne, the United States trailed by a wide margin, but Captain Tiger Woods helped lead a comeback for the red, white, and blue in Sunday singles for the U.S. team's 8th straight President's Cup victory.
Guys, they believed in one another. We relied on one another as a team, and we did it together.
And of course, such an exciting week and weekend, of course, here in the Charlotte area. You know, Ben mentioning that charity is a big focus of this tournament. It's really cool to see all of the U.S. golfers, you know, come together, and of course, getting to interact with the international team, you know, get to hang out and network and do all these great things for charity, and of course play golf in one of the most gorgeous places, at least we think, here in the Southeast.
I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah, they said the first time the President's Cup has ever been in the Southeastern United States.
Yep.
So it's really exciting that it's here in Charlotte.
It's right here in Charlotte, in our own backyard. I mean, and the thing is, folks, they're expecting tens of thousands of people over the course of the next few days. We did a piece this morning about Airbnb hosts and how they are making bank. We spoke to some woman this morning before we hopped on the shuttle here, and she said that she has a friend who's renting, she says, a very modest house. I don't know if I believe that.
I was about to say, for as much as you're going to say in a second, I don't know if I believe that either.
She has a friend that has a very modest house around the corner, which this is a very, very nice neighborhood. And she said that it was going for $20,000 this week.
Imagine being able to make $20K in just a week.
I mean, you just go on vacation, and you go on vacation, and you never look back, and you're like, I just made $20,000 off the President's Cup. My apologies, folks. I'm trying to get logged into our program so I can interact with you guys and see some of your questions and comments. But it's not popping up for me. There it is.
There it is. Well, we can talk quickly about the weather.
Let's talk weather.
Talk about that. We are going to pop up our weather graphics now, taking a live look here from across the area. Monroe, Dallas, Kannapolis. It is honestly a gorgeous start to the day. I know, of course, if you're watching us live this morning, we mentioned the humidity a little bit. If you know anything about curly hair, and you've seen mine this morning, you may be able to tell that it's humid, right, just from that. But we are going to have a lot of dry air coming in overnight, so kind of a taste of two different times, two different kind of air masses here over the next few days, but it's still going to be very, very nice. So beautiful start to the day. We just had the official sunrise about 15 minutes ago across the Charlotte area, and now it looks absolutely fabulous. Of course, you can see high pressure remaining in control in the near term, few clouds streaming in, but this big change is all ahead of a cold front that is going to have some implications to the forecast, especially as we get closer to later today and Friday. So temperatures this morning, mid to upper 60s. That's pretty much the name of the game for everybody. It is stickier out there. there. But your first tee official kickoff there around 105. Temperature's already near 90 degrees. We're going to have a bit of a breeze out there. It's going to be hot. In fact, the official start of fall, the autumnal equinox is tonight at 9 p.m. Ben, 92, 93 degrees. It could be one of the hottest starts to fall ever here in the Charlotte area. So just goes to show you kind of what we typically expect this time of year is about 10 degrees cooler. But another thing to note, other than the heat and the humidity today, is remember to wear the sunscreen, stay hydrated. The UV index is high today. It actually gets very high Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just based on how aggressive the sun's going to be. But there's a big difference between, I would say, a high UV index and a high of 92 than when it's at 75. And these temperatures, no joke. 53 degrees tomorrow morning, refreshing. I'm probably going to have a blanket out here because that's a little too cool for me. And then upper 40s Saturday morning.
I will say, given how hot it's supposed to be today, it has been cool this morning. We got here this morning and we have a thanks to all of our behind the scenes folks, because you can't see them right now, but Jack and Paul and Lily, all of them did an amazing job setting this place up.
Thinking of everything.
Thinking of everything, including we have a fan underneath here, and it was going full blast this morning. We nearly froze to death because it's chilly at first.
Yeah,
it's not going to be.
But Brad and Carolyn are going to need that fan and maybe 5 others this afternoon.
They're going to appreciate that. I don't know, Willie, can we pull out at all to just show sort of our setup? So people can sort of see what it's like. We have monitor here. We're pulling down our monitor. But there you go. So you can sort of see we've got a setup here. We got lights up here. We're actually underneath a canopy, which is great for the elements.
Yeah, just in case it was going to rain.
In case there's any elements. And just, amazing work done.
Yeah, even yesterday when we were testing all this stuff, there's a little breeze and this thing actually fell over. So even just getting that in place, based on the fact that we have that cold front coming in today and it turns a little bit breezy, these guys are just so great at what they do.
They really are. So it's not popping up. Joy says 40 sound good. Joy, amen to that.
I was about to say, after such a hot summer, I don't necessarily disagree. I just think that if you're going to be outside, you might need a light jacket.
Kelsey says, hi, Brittany.
Oh, that's my best friend.
You should hit the links, girl.
I am not a good golfer, but we talked about this earlier, Ben. I know more about golf now after doing my weather IQ.
Yes.
Than I did before.
Would you like to share any of it with us quickly?
Oh, yeah. So if anyone's interested, basically I did a weather IQ piece yesterday. It's on our website, but it was how weather impacts your golf game. And this is more so for folks who play for fun, I would say, than a PGA professional, because they can normally play in anything. But the 3 main weather components, it was wind, which we're going to get a little bit of that today and tomorrow, a little bit of a wind change there. Rain and temperature. Cold air is more dense than warm air, so you have to hit the ball a little bit harder. But it was just interesting to learn about the things that many people around here especially love to play golf. But
I know.
It's good to know. So if you have a bad game, you can blame the weather, folks.
Blame Brittany. That's why. All right, folks, let us know you're taking part in anything this weekend here with the President's Cup. It is sort of difficult to get here and stuff, but it's an exciting time here. And there's so many things going on around the greater Charlotte area. And it's exciting to host all these people from out of town and show off our fantastic city. Of course, we'll be here throughout the day here on WCNC Charlotte. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning for another edition of Wake Up Charlotte to Go.